Question again.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Will the Prime Minister update the House on actions the government has taken to reduce the cost of electricity and gas for households and businesses, including in my electorate of Chisholm?
The Prime Minister has the call.
Yes, thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the honourable member for a question. Mr Speaker, our focus is on ensuring Australians have affordable and reliable power, that the lights come on and stay on and that they can afford to keep them on. And we know what happens when Labor governments fail to plan their electricity system properly. We know what happens in South Australia. The great confessor himself, the member for Port Adelaide, knows all about that. His state, thanks to absurd and ideological and idiotic Labor policies, have resulted in that state having the least reliable and the most expensive electricity in Australia. Now, Mr Speaker, we can't do what the opposition leader has said about the challenges we currently face and treat them as an issue down the track. No. That's what he said. That's what he said. So we did the right thing. We went to the energy market operator and we said, tell us what is going to happen to baseload power in the years ahead, in the immediate term, this summer, for example, in the future term. A very important question. And we were advised that the closure of Liddell in 2022 would result in a big gap in dispatchable power, which would inevitably provide a similar shock to the closure of Hazelwood, unless something was put in its place, and there was no evidence of anything being put in its place. So, what did we do? We went to Liddell, to AGL, and we said, can you keep it going for longer? Can you consider selling it? They've said yes, they'll put that to their board. We thank them for that. They reckon they've got some other ideas. We'll look at them too. But, Mr Speaker, what we're doing is we're addressing long-term problems today. Now, Mr Speaker, I mentioned earlier the work that we're doing to ensure that we have the backup. Now, you know, the storage that we need is vitally important, and I'll give honourable members an insight into how uninformed the Labor Party was. When they published the modelling for their CPRS in 2012, all that they said about storage was this. In fact, they said nothing about it. They said
Member for Isaacs.
As intermittent generators such as wind produce less generation per unit of capacity on average than other generators, it will require the installation of a greater amount of total generation capacity, particularly additional gas. Well, of course, thanks to them, the gas was unaffordable. Labor never gave a thought to the fundamental challenges that face our market. We need to ensure we have affordable and reliable power, meet our international obligations, and to do that you have to have a plan.
The Prime Minister's
and Labor
time
doesn't.
has concluded.